Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I've said many times before, whenever I think I'm done with the Playmates reviews, they keep pulling me back in, and today is no exception because you've clicked on this video, you saw the little thumbnail. So let's get down to brass tacks because I have in my hand the first new monster figure from Playmates, part of the Monsterverse, in quite a while. Today we're opening up the Vark from Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. So I am gearing up to head to San Diego in 5 days as of the recording of this video, so I have been working my butt off. Well, I got word over the weekend that these bad boys started hitting store shelves. Now, I'm out here in Texas, and
I go to Texas. Howdy, partners.
And to be fair, the pickings, sometimes you find great stuff, sometimes you gotta wait. So I was a little worried because I started seeing people pick these things up at Target, but they were mainly on the West Coast, a couple out in the Chicago area. Now, these have popped up on AliExpress, but they were asking $25 to $30, and I bought enough of these things to know that I'm not willing to pay that. So I tried my luck. 8 Targets later, managed to come across a fresh batch that were just put out. Grabbed this guy, and I have the Burning Godzilla for another video, so stay tuned for that. But this is the one I've been very interested in taking a look at. This is part of Playmates kind of doubling down on the Monsterverse license. Now it's no longer Godzilla Kong, Godzilla X Kong. It is simply under the Monsterverse moniker. So I think that's opening the gate for a lot of other non-Toho related kaiju, or something that wasn't directly in the movie. Fingers crossed, we get a behemoth. That said, if you haven't seen Monarch Legacy of Monsters, well, you can go check out a review. I found the show to be fun at times and, well, frustrating at other times, but that's my personal opinion. It did give us Kurt Russell, it gave us Godzilla, it satisfied that itch of my childhood right there because those were my two heroes growing up. So I can't fault the show at all for its, shortcomings because it gave me so much more. And on the show, we got a brand new Titan, the Vark. This little guy right here who, not quite as Titanish. He's not that big. So I know some of you are like, okay, enough rambling.
Shut up and get to the point.
Yes, let's get to this. So as you can see, the brand new Monsterverse packaging. I believe I've opened up one other. Yeah, I think the real feels came out in this packaging right here. So this is the first time that we actually see what movie the actual monster is from. I think this is what Playmates is doing going forward. There we have the Vark in all of his glory. So there's the side of the package. Here is the back for you guys to look at. So full view. Let me get up close right here, and this is what this says. There we go. And then other characters in the line, so they're the real feels. I reviewed those. They had the Mothra. I decided not to pick up the Mothra because it is basically a recolor. I've already reviewed that figure. There's nothing new about it. I did get the Burning Godzilla because there's something interesting about that. We'll get into that. And then they've redone Kong from Skull Island. Did not see that guy. I think someone picked him up as part of this assortment that was put out. So there you go. That is the packaging. Let me get this back here. So now, without further ado, let's get this bad boy opened up here.
A few moments later.
Okay, after all that fun of getting this guy out of the box, first impressions. This is hefty. He is thick. The body on this thing, this is probably the heaviest figure that they've ever made. The body is completely solid. I'm actually quite shocked by how heavy it is. This thing's like a lead weight. So, detailing on it, not bad. You know, this is kind of a, you know, it's based on an aardvark of some sort. So let's look at the articulation. So he moves at the leg, and he actually has a joint, right, the swivel joint right there at the foot. So both. The tail is also on a swivel joint. Let's look at the forelegs. So move there, and we have rotation. So two-part rotation. So that is just a basic swivel, and then this is a ball joint. So I'm going to give you a little bit of movement right there. The neck turns, does not go side to side. Okay, so, you know, decent articulation for this figure. I'm actually shocked by how articulated it actually is. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the Playmates figures are what I would call very limited. This being a quadruped, I assume they would probably go the Shimo route and just have the legs be one piece. But no, they actually put some care and work and some tooling into this, and you have decent articulation. So this is a step up. I'll give Playmates credit. The later figures, starting with Tiamat, so far, I think is the best figure that they've done in this line. And they seem to be listening to fans and delivering a much better product. Now, I know some of you are going, you know, especially hardcore Godzilla collectors are like, oh, well, you know, it is a kid's toy at the end of the day. I get certain collectors, they kind of poo-poo these things, but you got to remember, man, like, these are for mass consumption. They're not Sofubi's. They're not, you know, high-end model kits. You know, I know Godzilla fans can be very particular about their actual collectibles. So let's look at the sculpt here. So the face, and the face is pretty cool. Paint job is nicely done. I don't really see any blotches or anything like that. They actually bothered to put the little blue dots at the tip. The facial sculpt is actually nicely done. There is a bit of a spray across the back to give a little definition, but as you can see, it's mainly a monotone color. So I don't know if you can tell in this light, but he's kind of a light bluish gray. It's very, you know, again, my lighting isn't the best to really show off the proper color in this thing, but, you know, he's not bad. So they at least gave a little bit of coloring in the eye, and the mouth is brown. So not bad at all. So this is a $10 figure. Is it worth it? 100%. This is a much, much better figure than a lot of the past Playmates releases, which gives me hope that if they're continuing this line, they're putting some effort finally into these things. I mean, you're making action figures for kids. These are aimed at children. Let me just move that down here a little bit. And that is the audience for these. I know there's a lot of collectors out there that, you know, they gotta have one of everything, and, you know, this clashes with, you know, some of their higher end stuff, but again, beggars can't be choosers. I'm glad that this line is continuing on, because there's a lot of cool monsters in this entire assortment that can be done. We still haven't gotten a Skilla. The box is actually teasing the Ion Dragon, so I'm hoping we're getting that bad boy eventually. I still want Behemoth. We still haven't gotten a proper Behemoth. Playmates made a little teeny tiny one. We haven't gotten that. But as far as monsters go, this is great. I mean, they start with the Frost Vark. They're advertising the Iron Dragon, so I'm assuming that's coming next. This line appears to be selling well enough that they're keeping it up. And this figure is a testament to Playmates putting effort into this thing. I'm very happy to say that this is a very well done figure as far as mass produced action figures go. For, you know, you kind of collector starting out, this is perfect. Would I pay more than 20 bucks for it? Absolutely not. If you can find it on the shelves, grab it. It is $10. This is well worth the $10. Like I said, let me show you. And you can't really tell, I got this new mat down here. But this is a solid figure. Let's see if we can get some posing going on here. How will he stand? So there he is on his hind legs. They hold pretty well. So you can get kind of that movement. See how he stands up a little bit. Kind of get the tree sloth thing going. No, he's too top heavy. But there you go. Again, kudos to Playmates. I'm quite surprised, and this thing turned out much better than I expected, especially after seeing the promo pictures for this thing when they announced it. So gives me hope for the other Titans to eventually be released in this line. Comic-Con is coming up in a week, so there's a strong chance they might be revealing something there. I got a feeling we got a lot of reveals coming in the next week or two. So if you're watching this channel, stay tuned. I will be posting constantly from Comic-Con. There's a lot of things coming. So, but there you go. This is the Vark, the first figure from Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Well, there you guys have it. That is my review of the Playmates Monsterverse Vark. Remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like to download, well, you can stream us on all of your favorite podcast streamers, including Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on social media. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook.com, right there. If you want to say hi or keep up to date with the late breaking news in the world of giant monsters, that is the place to go. And like I said, Comic-Con is around the corner. So you want to keep up to date with the various panels that I'll be covering, the panels we will be having, and a lot of the reveals that I know are coming. That is the place to go. And on that note, that will do it for this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.